I am Francis Scott Fitzgerald. I was born on September 24th, 1869, in St. Paul, Minnesota. I was closely related to Francis Scott Key, who wrote the lyrics to A Star-Spangled Banner. When I was 13, I saw my first piece of writing in print. At the age of 15, my parents sent me to Newman School. It was a Catholic preparatory school located in New Jersey. There I met Father Fay, who noticed my talent and encouraged me to pursue my literary ambitions. After I graduated from Newman School in 1913, I decided to stay in New Jersey to continue my artistic development in Princeton University. I dedicated myself to honoring my craft as a writer, writing scripts from the Princeton famous Triangle Club musical, as well as a frequent article from the Prince Tiger magazine. The stories from the military magazine. Unfortunately, I had to drop out of school to join the U.S. Army. I was later one assigned to Camp Sheridan outside of Montgomery, Alabama. It was there that I met and fell in love with a beautiful 18-year-old Zelda Sayre. She was the daughter of the Alabama Supreme Court judge. In 1918, before I was ever deployed, and upon my discharge, I moved to New York, hoping to launch my career in advertising, enough to convince Zelda to marry. I quit my job after only a few months, however, and returned to St. Paul to rewrite my novel. The novel was published in 1920, and I was 24 at this time, and the novel got glowing reviews, and I almost turned into one of the country's most promising young writers. A week later, I married Zelda in New York. We had only one child, a girl. We named her Francis Scott Fitzgerald, born in 1921. I took care of my family by writing great numbers of short stories for popular publications such as the Saturday Evening Post. Some of my most notable stories include The Diamond as Big as the Ritz, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, The Camel's Back, and The Last at the Bellows. In 1922, I published my second novel, The Beautiful and Damned. Jazz Age. It was an age of miracle, and I said, it was an age of art, it was an age of excess, and it was an age of satire. In 1924, I decided to move to France, hoping to spark my creativity, and it was there in Valscure that I wrote what would be credited as my greatest novel, The Great Gypsy. It was soon published in 1920. Gasping of that. With all the elements the story had for this time period, it was considered one of my finest works. It was not until 1950 and 1960, long after I was gone, that it achieved its stature as the definitive patriot of the Roaring Twenties, as well as one of the greatest American novels ever written. I began writing another novel, The Love of the Tycoon, around 1939. I had completed over half the manuscript and soon had a heart attack and died on December 24th, 1940, at the age of 44 in Hollywood, California. I never got to finish the novel, but had a very good and interesting life. Until next time, Francis Scott Fitzgerald.